Welcome back, everybody, to the Breachers VRML. I'm your host, Gibular Bob. Hopefully the audio is coming through. I changed up the mic setup a little bit so that my quality should be a little bit better. But anyways, hope you're all doing well. This evening, I've got a matchup for you here, Eradiate versus Spectral, and it should be a very, very entertaining matchup indeed. Taking a look at Iradiate's stats right here, 1-1. Their previous loss was to Olympus, and they beat Suspicious Breakfast. Spectral 1-0, also, or excuse me, an undefeated team, and they previously played Tiny Tank. So, looking at the map data here, Hideout, the best map for Iradiate, 9 rounds. They've won 78% of those rounds. Over on Spectral, Skyscraper, their best map. 9 rounds played there, and they've won 78% of those rounds. But both are familiar with Hideout, both familiar with Factory, at least in this season. Spectral, this is going to be their first season. However, a lot of familiar players over on this particular team. And Iradiate's no stranger to the Breachers VRML. We've seen them quite a bit in Season 1. I don't know if we had way too many of their games casted, but they've definitely been hanging in there. And what we're doing right now during our season is taking a look at some of these teams that have not been showcased or had that opportunity. Spectral and Iradiate, I feel, are two teams that don't often get to be in the spotlight, but here we go. This is their chance, and we'll see who walks away as the winner of this matchup. Currently waiting for most of Spectral to show up in the lobby right now. Dusty, Extrius, Uncle Ron, Parrot, and Beagle all on Iradiate, as G-Monkey and Flare, currently the only two players here on Spectral. So it should be a very entertaining matchup. And while we are waiting for our players to populate the lobby here, let's give a couple quick thanks to the sponsors that make VRML happen, starting off with Triangle Factory, the developers of Breachers. They've done a lot for the VRML, including putting our own in-game ad in the lobby, and you can find that again in the lobby by the basketball court. So big thanks to Triangle Factory. They gave us some exclusive skins here at the VRML. You can purchase one for credits right now. It's a Vezin skin, and it costs 150 credits, which you can get in-game. So big thanks to Triangle Factory. Next up, ProTube VR, which provides the best VR rifle mounts and accessories. You can help stabilize your aim in-game by picking up a MagTube stock. You can put your controllers into cups that magnetically connect to a fully adjustable stock. Or if you want to add to the immersion, you can check out the Force Tube with haptic feedback to enhance any virtual shooting experience. With a variety of other products ranging from Beat Saber to joystick mounts, ProTube VR is your one-stop shop for controller peripherals. And next up is HyperX. You can get 15% off MRSP off of fully priced HyperX products in North America using code HXVRML23. And they also support our casting department with a wonderful kit of casting peripherals here. You're listening to my voice through the HyperX Quadcast right now with a wonderful tap to mute feature, which so you have no idea what I said there. I hit tap to mute, and that's the beauty of that. I could say anything, and you wouldn't be able to hear it. So big thanks to HyperX. Of course, the sound quality also very, very nice. And if you've heard Nightfire, I believe he uses the Procast. So he also, you can tell just the quality of these HyperX products. Big thanks to them for sponsoring the league. With that out of the way, we are getting into the vote for map number 1. We don't have a 5th yet for Spectral. Hopefully they do get that 5th player. Maybe they'll join in. Maybe they'll get a league sub of some kind. If they just go into map number 1 without any kind of 5th player, that worries me a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Shout out to everybody in the chat here. Retalker, Brabadabado, Flare, how's it going? Good to see everyone. And map number 1 going to be Hideout. Now let's take a look at that data one more time, because both teams did play Hideout. 9 rounds from Iradiate, again, their best map. Spectral, they've played 11 rounds on it, so 2 more than Iradiate. They didn't win as many, though. Interesting. These two teams have not previously fought again because Spectral, newer team this season, but again, the players that we've seen on Spectral are anything but new to the Breachers VRML. Currently, Spectral sitting number 34, Eradiate number 36, but if these two teams, neither team has played 3 games yet, so they haven't been officially ranked by our VRML system here. And let me give the teams the signal to start up. And here we go to map number 1 of this Eradiate versus Spectral matchup. It's going to take us over to Hideout. I wonder what kind of interesting plays we're going to see here. It's definitely not one to disappoint. So we're just waiting for the teams to start up the map right now. And oh, looks like they're getting ready. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the cutaway here. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. We're waiting on somebody. But currently, if you need a reminder for the rosters, Dusty, Extras, Uncle Ron, Parrot, Beagle, and they've started up the map. I knew that was going to happen. Anyways, here is our first match of the night on Hideout. And here we go into map number 1 with Spectral starting off on the offense. Eradiates taking the defense. There we go. Let me just make sure everybody's in the right order here. Looks like it. If my microphone is a little too loud, let me know. I think I turned it down a little bit because it was showing up a little high on my end. But hopefully everything is good to go. Plunge, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Taking a look at the starting eco Spectrals across the board for Spectral, which, I mean, it would make sense. If it was anything but the Spectrals, I wouldn't be too happy. But Irradiates, we do see some variety on their side, a Cyclone, 3 Spectrals, and a Taurus. And here we go, starting up as Save Some foaming that dining room hatch. Parrot already taking out Flare. Very early pick for Spectral to give up. Now here we go, Sly and Save Some both dropping into Site A. They want to get the jump on Eradiate very early. G-Monkey trying to hold down that connector, but Parrot finding that kill, however, will be refragged by Sly. Here's a gunfight between Sly and Beagle over in the living room as Extras finds the kill on Stain. Sly taking out Beagle as Save Some finds Dusty. Uncle Ron taking out Slies. It's now a 1 versus 2 situation. It's just down to Save Some. And Extras takes out Save Some to give round number 1 to Eradiate. Fast start from Eradiate. And Spectral. It was a quick round. I mean, like less than a minute in there. And things were already moving along. So that's a good indication of how this game is going to go. I love the fast matchups, you know. Really, really interesting to kind of capture that high octane action that can happen in Breachers. You do get that slower, that tactical gameplay from some teams, and it works really well. But I mean, watching a team like Acer, they're lightning fast and they're insanely accurate, and it's always fun to watch. How's it going, everybody? Hey, Paladin. When are you going to cast Fusion? You know, Fusion is... I'd like to cast Fusion because they've had some good matchups, but their matchups have never worked with my schedule, so I haven't been able to get a map in or a match in for them. I'm looking to get one, though. They're a team I have my eye on. A lot of really prominent players there, but we'll see. We'll see. And here we go, starting off round number 2. Stain and G-Monkey moving into the family room balconies. It looks like it is going to be that Site A push. Save Some just keeping an eye on that bedroom hatch as Uncle Ron tucking in bedroom. And look at this, Spectral is pushing into Site A. Save Some finding the kill on Uncle Ron as an incendiary catches a lot of health from G-Monkey. 2.5 minutes on the clock right now as Flair swinging into the shower will find a kill on Parrot, and Stain finds Beagle, who is trying to escape the room. Just didn't quite happen. And it's a 4 versus 2 as G-Monkey finds X-Trace. It's now just down to Dusty, who takes out Sly before going down. Excuse me, who takes out G-Monkey before going down to Sly. And Spectral pick up their first round. And here we go. Sorry, I had to get a quick drink. You know what they say, casting is thirsty work. Let's see where the push is coming from. It's over in Gym and Bar. Ooh, interesting. This is a half buy from Spectral. Interesting. Viper, Canut, Omen. They've got players who can buy a Vezin, but they're choosing not to do that. Where will this strategy take them? We see Stain and G-Monkey over in the courtyard right now. There's the breaching foam on site B. There's the breach into Gym as Stain opening up the storage door right there. 2 minutes 40 on the clock right now. Just playing it safe outside. Irradiate on a full stack of Vezins. This is going to make things difficult for Spectral. They're saving money, but I'm not sure what for, because this is typically the round where you spend. G-Monkey, however, found a kill onto Beagle with that Viper, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Uncle Ron picking up a very nice pick onto Sly there. Uncle Ron dropping a second, as look at this, the EMP's being planted. Dusty taking off Flair, dropping a second, will go down to Flair, however, with a frag grenade from beyond the grave. And it's now just down to G-Monkey, who's taken out by Uncle Ron as Iradiate pick up their second round now. Again, really, really fast rounds. That was an interesting push from Spectral, but I feel like if they had those Vezins, may have stood a better chance. Fortunately for them, I mean, they can spend now. They can get the util that they want. They can get the Vezins, attachments for everything. I just wondered why they ecoed on an Irradiate Vezin round, because more or less Irradiate is in the same position as well. They can spend money on util or Vezins. They do have a little bit less economy. Reminder that also live on the Breachers VRML channel right now is Martini with a matchup between OL and Suspicious Breakfast. So if you're interested in that, once we get to a break here or something, then you can go and take a look. But don't skip out on this match right now, because this is shaping up to be very interesting, or a very intense matchup between these two, should I say. Uncle Ron hanging over in death boxes at the moment as Flair looking to push up into death hallway, not checking that corner. That was risky. Uncle Ron finding Flair as Stain will take out Uncle Ron, securing a refrag. Parrot dropping Sly, refrag by Stain again. And here we go, a frag toss to the other end of the death hallways. It's a 3 versus 2 with Dusty on the flank, dropping both Stain and Safe Some. And it's now just down to G-Monkey, the last Spectral player standing. G-Monkey does have that Vezin, but definitely this is not where Spectral wanted to be right now. They've got that extra money, but they kind of burned it. And I'm questioning the eco strategy that they decided to use here. There's the breaching foam on the site B wall. G-Monkey getting a little bit of lag here, but opens up, finds Dusty, but will go down to Beagle as Irradiate pick up their third round against Spectral. Also, coming up at 9:30, just gotta make sure I get all of my times right here. Yes, is Restart versus Aspect. 9:30 p.m. EST. That's hosted by the one, the only, the Nightfire. Let's make sure when you're done with that, when you're done with this match, go over check that out. Yeah, both Martini and Nightfire, great casters. So if you enjoy their work, consider subscribing to the Breachers VRML channel. Now, let's get back into the game here. I'm seeing some Owens, one from Flare, 3 Spectrals, or excuse me, 3 Vesnas across the board from Spectral. They've got some weird eco strategies that I don't often see. And I'm not sure how to feel about them. You can play a unique way, but to a certain extent, it worries me if they're playing in a strange way that's hurting their performance as a team. That's kind of what we're seeing against Eradiate right now. As G-Monkey picking up a kill on Extras, heading over to storage, where Parrot and Uncle Ron are waiting. G-Monkey just jiggle peeking that door is Uncle Ron looking to provide some cover fire. Now moving over into Site B, tucking in the corner as Parrot finding a kill on Safe Sum. And Parrot dropping a double this time on G-Monkey. Open up a window over there, and Dusty finds a kill on a Flare as Beagle takes out Sly. Excuse me. Yeah, that was Beagle that we saw through the window, and it's now just down to Stain, the last standing member of Spectral, once again. Just down to Stain against 4 Irradiate players. Device activated it as Stain will find one. Looks to take out Uncle Ron, but Uncle Ron not going to go down easily now that they know somebody is out there. But Stain will find it. Will be refragged by Dusty as Irradiate now picking up their 4th round. And here we go into round number 6, the halftime round, if you will. Let's get the scoreboard up here. Spectral, able to field 4 Vesnas, not, yeah, no, only 4. G-Monkey sticking with that Viper. Now, yeah, the eco here is what's confusing me about the way that Spectral's playing. Irradiate have had plenty of money here to play around with, but we'll see what the strategy is from Spectral. They're being very, very aggressive, and I almost want to say slow down the push a little bit. I guess they did that in the last round, but I think they got to slow it down even more. Play methodically here. Hopefully we can see a drone there. We will see a drone coming from G-Monkey. Irradiate goes bowling. Not a bad plan in this case. As we see Uncle Ron sitting in the back of garage. Dusty in that rotation. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock. As we're starting off the halftime round. Remember, Irradiate going to go on the offense as Spectral on the defense. Safe Summon Flare. Moving into garage as a frag is tossed. That's here frag from Dusty, who drops 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful triple kill from Dusty as Parrot looking to move out over to the laundry hallway, leaving just Stain and Sly as Stain finds a kill of their own. Now 2 minutes 10 on the clock. Beagle looking for some shots through the window as Sly now over by garage. And all of this happened in the course of a minute. We're down to a 3 versus 2. So there's time for Spectral to make a move. The EMP, however, is down in garage. Dusty sitting in the back, not willing to let anybody in. Here comes a drop from Stain over down the big stairs. Dusty will find that. Looks for a second. I think that was an ace from Dusty. It was an ace from Dusty who killed all 5. No, it was not. It was a 4K. It was a 4K from Dusty. Look, I almost got it right. Dusty got 4 of them. But the 5th one, it was Dusty. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, people in the chat were watching. I think it was a 4K from Dusty, unless I was originally right. If you know, let me know in the chat as we move over into the second half of this game. Now Irradiate on the offense. Spectral not off to a good start. It's a 1-5 game, not best case scenario for Spectral at all. Typically, if you are going for a comeback on the second half because you play it better, you want to give yourself a 4-2 game to give yourself as much padding as you can heading into the second half, either a 3-3 or a 4-2, however many rounds you can get. But you typically don't want to get just one round because it's not leaving you with too much opportunity to bring things back. You essentially, if you want to win the map, have to play flawlessly in this second half. We'll see if Spectral can do this and bring it back on the defense, but right now they are in trouble as G-Monkey sitting in the back of storage right now. Beagle looking to move in, and Irradiate just droning their players in. G-Monkey looks to swing and will find 1, finds 2. Beautiful double kill from G-Monkey. Dusty Extrius heading back out to the courtyard as this push did not work well for Irradiate. Stain finds Parrot as Dusty taking out Flare. Extrius taking out Stain. G-Monkey goes down to Dusty as it's now just down to Safe Sum and Sly, the last 2 members of Spectral standing. There's the breach into Site B. Safe Sum pinned in the boiler right now. Extras looking for some damage as Sly takes out Dusty. Extras finds Sly, and Safe Sum takes out Extras to give Spectral their second round of this game. Apologies, I forgot to give the scoreboard for a couple of seconds there. Anyways, let's see where Irradiate is going with this. They did pick up a loss in the pistol round. And here comes this weird half-buy strategy from Spectral once again. They did get a Vezin up. Flare purchasing a Canut. Now, a Canut, in my opinion, is kind of something you don't buy off of a win round. I would have... My strategy would be to eco, right? To get that Vezin and not to spend an extra amount. And we see, I think, Flare is leaning towards that same direction as they swap out that that Canut for a Spectral. I saw a Taurus there for a moment, and it made me concerned that they were not living up to the name of their team. Oh, that was an ace. Okay, thank you, Jack. 2 minutes 40 on the clock as G-Monkey picking up some damage from this Irradiate push. It's going to be tough because there is a Vezin from Spectral. That, of course, doesn't guarantee a win for Spectral, but it will make it much, much easier for them to get a win under their belt. Oh, good frag toss. However, doesn't pick up any damage from Irradiate. That was a good response to it. And here comes the breach through the A wall as Uncle Ron looking to get that EMP planted. Bit of a misplay with that frag as Safe Sum looking to move up. Will go down to Dusty. Sly finding that refrag onto Dusty as the EMP is planted. There's now 45 seconds left on the clock. Stain looking to move up by the EMP will find the kill onto Beagle as Flare takes out Uncle Ron. G-Monkey heading down to Parrot, who drops a second on Flare as Stain finds Parrot, gets the refrag, and it's now just down to Extrius as Sly going for the defuse. They say pros don't fake. Extrius is swinging, and Sly doesn't fake that EMP, finds the kill onto Extrius, who takes out Stain before going down, left Sly on a whopping 1 health. And that was a close round for Spectral by all means. I think at that point, we needed to see Extrius not swing in, but just go for the mantle through that window. Because in that case, Sly played it perfectly. Just stay on the EMP. Don't fake it. Pros don't fake. It's that mentality that wins the rounds. You just got to be very, very careful. And yeah, good read from Spectral. They're bringing it back here on the defense, as I like to say, bringing it back like disco. And they're doing a great job. They've got some Vezes. G-Monkey picking up a Viper, which I'm not sure about, because Monkey can pick up a Vezin. So I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting. They've got a quirky eco strategy over here on Spectral. Meanwhile, Eradiate sticking with the old faithful, the 5-stack of Vezins. They did spend a lot on this round, so trying to bring out a win. Remember, one more win from Eradiate would mean match point for map 1. Frag toss as Dusty will go down. A Flare Parrot dropping 2, however, before being refragged by Stain. And it's now a 3 versus 3. It's down to G-Monkey, Stain, and Sly against Extrius, Uncle Ron, and Beagle. Uncle Ron moving in, picking up a little bit of damage from Sly, who is firing through that kitchen wall into garage. Now 2 minutes 20 on the clock as Beagle just hanging out in the front yard, looking for any kind of roamer. Stain on the lower big stairs. I think at this point, just leave Beagle to watch the flank as the other two push up. And it looks like that's what Eradiate is going for. They've got the breaching foam on the garage wall, and Sly is about to have a very, very open angle to peek here. G-Monkey just hanging around in the rotation between these two sites. 1:50 on the clock. Beagle moving in to support the rest of Eradiate. There's the breach through garage as Sly hanging in the back, looking for a peek. Beagle, I think Beagle may know that somebody's back there. Sly looking to peek out and is picked up by Beagle, and it's now just down to Stain. Uncle Ron still waiting. Oh no, didn't notice Stain, I don't think, but still hanging over. Oh, they're right on the other side of the door, and Uncle Ron finds Stain. It's now just down to G-Monkey in a 1 versus 3 scenario with that Viper. Beautiful kill by Uncle Ron. Nice flank watch. And G-Monkey just waiting with that Viper. Picking up a bit of damage, but against 3 Vezins. 3 people who can one-tap you with a headshot. Oh, and it's an S-tier frag. Doesn't quite find anybody. G-Monkey does take out Extrius before going down, but Beagle found that refrag, and now it's a 6-3 game with Eradiate winning, well, potentially winning. They've secured the draw. All they need is just one more round, and then they can call it a win for map 1. But they played very, very well. Spectral were bringing it back here in the second half, but this again is why you need to give yourself that padding that I was talking about, because you need opportunities to make, even just a mistake. And then, if you have that 4-2 game or a 3-3 game heading into the second half, it's okay if you lose a round. But here, you saw Spectral, they lost a round, and it really meant the difference here in map 1, because now, even if they bring it back, it's just going to turn into a voided point, and nobody will secure a win. But, right now, they still have a lot of work to do before they can prevent that tie, because right now, all they need on Irradiate is one more round. There we go. Starting off into round number 10. As Extras, Uncle Ron, Parrots, Dusty, the entire Irradiate team out in the courtyard. They do have breaching foam on the gym wall. G-Monkey rotating towards the back of B, now playing Fort. As Beagle prepping a frag, tossing it into the back of Fort. Doesn't quite find G-Monkey. Good movement here. These teams know, these players know how to outplay a frag grenade. I'm loving the movement that we're seeing. Now 2 minutes 10 on the clock. Irradiate are taking more time to get set up this round. Playing methodically. Dusty taking out Stain. Where even was that? All the way over on the roam. And a good pick from Irradiate as they are now full blitzing the B site. Dusty and Uncle Ron outside. In storage, a slide drops to Dusty, finds Flare. G-Monkey looking to push in, and a string of kills lead Irradiate to lose this round to Spectral. It's now a 4-6 game. Wow, that was very, very fast. A very fast push, but goodness. Okay, let's see here. Put up the scoreboard. Ooh, not good for Irradiate. This is going to be an eco round. 3 Jespers, a Spectral, and a Viper. They're not anticipating a win out of this round. They're going to save as much as they can. They know this is going to get to a 6-5 game against Spectral. Flare purchasing a Hideout. Again, I mean, in this case, you've got 4 Vezin teammates. Would it not be the better option to just purchase a Spectral or a Jesper? So that way, next round, you will be able to buy that Vezin. Instead, going for the Hideout. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about here. We shall see where this leads Spectral, though. Either way, they are looking very, very nice with the eco. As they're able to field 4 Vezins and a Hideout. Irradiate. Best they can do right now is that Viper. 2.5 minutes on the clock as Beagle hanging out over in the front yard, opening up that window. Just looking in the foyer. Save some firing, excuse me, not save some, Flare firing some shots through the wall with that Hideout as Uncle Ron picking up some damage. And there's now 2 minutes 10 on the clock. So Irradiate, not quite as fast as Spectral is on the offense. They take more time to set up, whereas Spectral, they had very fast setups and then very quick pushes. Dusty finding a kill on Stain as G-Monkey quickly with a refrag onto Dusty, and it's a 4 versus 4. However, I mean, any kills that Irradiate gets onto Spectral players is going to be extra damage they do to the eco of Spectral. If they can get a kill on Flare, a kill on to save some, G-Monkey goes down to Beagle as Irradiate are playing this eco round very, very well. They're doing a lot of damage. Parrot taking out Sly. Are they going to turn an eco round into a win of this map? That would be very, very big for Irradiate. Save some heading over to Site A as Flare just holding down B. Save some takes out Parrot as here we see Flare in the connector, and it's a 3 versus 2. They only have 1 Vezin up on Irradiate right now. It's in the hands of Beagle. Uncle Ron looking to rotate over. They're trying to get that EMP planted. However, a nice crossfire set up from Safe Sum and Flare. Flare looking to play back, though, as Beagle looking to move up, trying to find that kill onto Safe Sum. 30 seconds left on the clock. Uncle Ron is going to have to get that EMP planted at some point. Looking to get it planted as Beagle finds the kill onto Flare, and it's now just down to Safe Sum. The EMP has been planted by Irradiate. I thought Spectral was on the offense, but no, it is planted by Irradiate. There's now just 45 seconds left on the clock. If this turns into a win on a super eco round from Irradiate, I mean, they bought 3 Jespers, but here comes Safe Sum with a kill onto Extrius, looking for Uncle Ron, looking for Beagle. And Uncle Ron will go down. It's now just down to it's now just down to Beagle. The EMP is defusing, and Beagle finds the kill onto Safe Sum, and Irradiate turn an eco round into a full-blown win to give Irradiate their first map point of this series. Wow, what an incredible start for this team. I mean, can you believe it? What started off as an eco round with 3 Irradiate players picking up a Jesper turned into them winning the map. I thought this was going to be a 6-5 game with Irradiate going to need to squeeze out as much of that economy as they save up in that round as possible. But that's a testament to the fact that just because you have 4 or 5 Vezins on your team does not guarantee that it's going to end up as a win for that team. If you play smart, if you play for picks, I mean, Spectral was giving Irradiate those 1v1s, those, and it wasn't just a 1v1, it was 1v2s that they were giving them. Extra players from Irradiate grouping together to find those overall kills. Beagle picking up a very, very important, I think, round-changing, map-defining kill with that Viper to secure a Vezin, which ultimately I think gave Irradiate enough fuel to continue that push. So very, very well played from Irradiate. Spectral did a great job. I mean, they almost brought it back. It was a 4-7 game, but ultimately they just got picked apart by that Irradiate offense. And it really shows. I mean, I think this was a match poised for Irradiate to win? No, it was 17 votes in favor of Spectral, 8 in favor of Irradiate. So, I mean, we're definitely seeing Irradiate are playing smart. They played very, very smart in that first map. I liked their eco strategies a little bit more. I think what I was seeing is a lot of these weird half buys from Spectral, going for a Cadillo, going for a Canut when you really don't need to. And ultimately, I think that was something else that contributed to it. There's a reason that a lot of teams use those round 2 Vezins, and play with 3 players on a Vezin, 2 players on a Vezin when they do lose those rounds. It's because those are the strategies that work in the pro meta right now. I think if you're going for a Canut or if you're going for those SMGs, you have to be confident that you could get as much utility out of them, because SMGs are in this strange place where they're pretty expensive and they can hurt your overall eco to a point where it'd be worth it to just eco and buy a Spectral instead, so the next round you can afford that Vezin. So it's definitely a game that requires a lot of thought to go into what you want to spend on which rounds. It all depends on who spends money where, but ultimately went to Irradiate this time. And the next map is going to go to Ship. Now, I don't think either team has data for Ship yet. No, nobody has data for Ship. Hideout was a better map for Irradiate than it was for Spectral, but both teams had pretty similar. I mean, Spectral only played 2 more rounds on Hideouts than Irradiates. So it really could go either way. Apologies for that. Okay, let me give the teams the go ahead to start up map 2. And once again, map number 2 is going to take us over to ship. Very different. I mean, it's got those close quarters, so we'll see what happens as we get ready for map number 2, which is going to be ship. I think this is maybe the first game this season that has a chance of not going to a third map. Yeah, I've casted 4 games in total, this being the 5th, and we've seen a lot of very, very entertaining matchups. This has been very entertaining too, but most of them have started with the teams tying map number 1 and then guaranteeing we go to a third map. So I mean, anything can really happen here. We'll see. But Eradiate, right now, if they win this second map, they're going to win the whole set as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Gizmo Hotline. Paladin, once again. Once we're done with this cast, maybe we can hop over to Aspect versus Restart. Unfortunately, not going to work tonight. But yeah, I'll definitely try and get Aspect for you, Gizmo. Apologies. However, you do have the one, the only Nightfire casting for you, so should be entertaining. Good luck. Good luck. Here we go. 2.5 minutes on the clock as he radiates, moving in already. Uncle Ron moving over to Pump, and here comes, it's going to be a very Pump-focused breach from Irradiate. So we see a frag tossed by Spectral. 2 minutes 15 on the clock. Uncle Ron just scouting out for some other members of Spectral. Flare finding a kill on a Parrot as a crossfire is set up. Extras taking out Sly. Flare finds Dusty, and it's a 3 versus 4. Beagle taking out Safe Sum. Looking, Flare moving into Green Engine will go down to Beagle, who drops a second kill. And here comes Uncle Ron moving into sight. A almost going down to Stain as G-Monkey drops 1. Stain drops 2. And what looked like a round that might go to Irradiate went to Spectral instead. They just got caught by G-Monkey and Stain, who's hitting the Macarena there at the end. Wow. Very, very entertaining first round that we saw between these two teams. I mean, yeah, it looks like Irradiate had that one, but ultimately, very nice play from G-Monkey and Stain to give them the win. What is the eco looking like? Yeah, here we go. Round 2 Vezins coming out from Spectral. G-Monkey can also afford to buy one, but they don't want to spend too much over here at Spectral. Definitely not the worst strategy at all. I think this is one of those strategies that does work. You buy 2 of those round 2 Vezins, and it really can work out for your team. This is why, people don't half buy, because you can pick up that rifle instead and just go for the fast fire rate, 1-tap headshots. We see Irradiate moving over into ship. Moving over into navigation. Maybe, yeah, they're looking for a roamer. They're trying to clear out a roamer. As Uncle Ron moving over to that hatch just above kitchen. The navigation hatch, if you would. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. Parrot moving over into communications. They haven't found any kind of roamer. And that's because they haven't sent one upstairs over on Spectral. Sly, Safe Some, both watching kitchen as Stain, G-Monkey, keeping an eye on cafeteria, and Flair somewhere in between. As we see Dusty, Uncle Ron making their way down the gray stairs. Again, just clearing their corners, being very thorough. They don't want to spend too much time, though. If you leave yourself with a 5 versus 5 and a minute 10 on the clock, I mean, you're setting yourself up for a very, very difficult round. But here's another eco from Iradiate. Uncle Ron foaming the red hallways. Dusty moving into kitchen. Already a frag's tossed out. Doesn't find any damage. However, some Vezin fire as here comes Beagle through the hatch. Very coordinated. Oh my goodness, look at the push from Iradiate as they take out Flair. They've overwhelmed the superior numbers and superior firepower of Spectral. But G-Monkey not going out yet. Did pick up that second Vezin, but Uncle Ron finds the kill. They did it again. They did it again over on Iradiate now. And now Uncle Ron is hitting the Macarena. Oh my goodness, it's a battle of the Macarena between these two teams. Can you believe that? Iradiate did it again. They used an eco round to turn it into a Vezin round. They secured both of those Vezins that Spectral picked up. And that is devastating to this Spectral defense. I mean, they had those Vezins, but ultimately they were just caught out by Iradiate. They had such a coordinated push. Dusty pushing in. They had people coming from the door, the breach, and the hatch. Beagle, again, with a very, very clutch flank there, found that pick that kind of disoriented Spectral. And it really was a beautiful setup for Iradiate to get that round. Now, Spectral, this is important for them. They didn't spend all of their money. They only bought 2 Vezins, and so now they get to field 3 Vezins into this round. It's going to be tough because Iradiate does have 5 Vezins. They've got the utility that they need, but Spectral, I have confidence that they can find some power here, and Uncle Ron taking out Stain. If they can find some kills on Iradiate, they can loot those Vezins. However, Stain going down is an early pick for them to give up to Iradiate. There's the breaching foam on the communications wall. Uncle Ron picking up a bit of damage. Here comes one breach, and it looks like it might be a 2-prong onto communication as Sly just hanging in the back along with G-Monkey over by that console. G-Monkey finding a kill onto Dusty. Just trying to clear out the other side. Parrot taking out Flair, looking for another kill as Sly still hanging up there on that console. They haven't opened up the second communications wall. They're going for those wall bangs. Uncle Ron finds the kill on G-Monkey as Sly looking to secure any possible refrag, but Beagle once again on the flank takes out Safe Some. It's now just down to Sly, and Parrot takes out Sly, and Iradiate take the lead of map number 2. I'm loving this high-octane action that we're seeing from both of these teams. I mean, Iradiate pushing in there, and it really came down to Sly at the end there. Almost found the clutch for Spectral, but ultimately it came down to a numbers battle. And, yeah, Sly just couldn't take out Parrot as well. But, I mean, these teams are very close in the way that they're playing. This has been an exciting matchup. I hope we go to a map 3 because I don't want it to end this early. Iradiate taking the lead. They're playing so well, so coordinated. I'm loving the pushes here. Oh man, I talked the entire time and I forgot to unmute my microphone. I'm gonna have to remember to do that. I did this yesterday, and I talked for like a full minute. It made me very sad, but oh well. 2 minutes 20 seconds left on the clock as Stain is sitting up by navigation right now. And here we go with Beagle once again in the door. Over by Irradiate. There goes the breaching foam as Parrot taking out Safe Sum. Now 2 minutes on the clock. Uncle Ron taking out Stain will be refragged by G-Monkey, who drops a second on Extras, but will be refragged by Beagle. Parrot looking to move in and flank Flare, but Flare goes down to Beagle first. Parrot on the flank, still looking to take out Sly, and will find the kill on Sly's Irradiate. Find that third round over Spectral. Decided to put a little message in the chat there. Once again, apologies for the mic muted. I have a whole checklist of things that I make sure are working before the round starts. I gotta make sure that my mic is on. I gotta add that to the list as well. Oof. Anyways. Let's see where this goes. Irradiate, of course, did win the last round, so they're forcing Spectral on another kind of half buy. Flare picking up an SMG, and this is really the situation where it is okay to half buy. What? This is a situation where it is okay to half buy because, I mean, they don't have any more rounds here. So, just kind of spend your money. Make sure that every penny counts in the battle. As we see 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock. Sly over in the back of Site B. Alright, just checking out the breach here. Sites are Workshop and Pump. As we see Uncle Ron, Extrius, Beagle, all over by Fire at the moment. Now 2 minutes 10 on the clock as once again Irradiate just trying to clear out any roamer. We haven't seen any kind of roamer from Spectral. Now 2 minutes on the clock. As Parrot dropping two from out of nowhere. I don't even know where these gunfights are happening. Taking out two of those Spectral players. This could be the round where they pull ahead. Uncle Ron finding the kill on to save some as Sly looking to move around, but is flanked by Parrot. And just like that, it's down to Flare, who's got the Omen and is alone inside A. Does find the kill on to Parrot, however. Looking for a second, but it's going to be difficult to make some progress. Swapping that Omen out for that Vezin, but Dusty defending the teammate there, taking out Flare and moving us to a 4-2 game heading into the second half. Oh goodness, it has been a very, very fun first half here on map number 2 in Irradiate versus Spectral, but Irradiate pulling ahead. That's what I was talking about when my mic was muted. I was saying we hadn't had anybody at that point pull away as a leader, but now we do have Irradiate taking it 4-2. They're 2 rounds up over Spectral, which is how this played out. No, it's not how that played out in map 1, but there's potential for Spectral to bring this back. Again, 4-2. They gave themselves some padding this time. They did win those 2 rounds on the defense, which could mean everything here. It was very close in the previous game, but we'll see. We'll see if they are able to bring this back. We'll find out all that and more as we get ready for round number 7. Here we go. Starting things off, Spectral are already moving in, trying to blitz the Irradiate defense, G-Monkey will take out Uncle Ron, and Spectral are a very, very fast team. They are on the move constantly, not droning. They do have a drone, but they're choosing not to use it as they clear out the roam upstairs. Got to make sure you're not leaving anybody on your flank up here because they can do a lot of damage. But there goes the breach into navigation. Parrot finding the drone. And they weren't able to gain too much information. Tossing a frag down. It was an educated guess frag, if you would. Didn't, however, find anybody on Irradiate. G-Monkey moving over into Bunks' safe zone. Safe sum, getting that breaching foam on the red hallway wall, and it looks like they're going to two-prong over from the Bunks side and then open up the rotation through Infirmary. They may try a push through bathrooms. We'll see where this kind of push goes. Nobody is upstairs. It's a 5 versus 4 with currently the superior numbers in the hands of Spectral. G-Monkey looking to get that EMP planted. They do have a frag grenade over on Irradiate. Parrot taking out Safe Sum, but will be refragged by Sly. Dusty finding Stain, but will be refragged by Dusty. Beagle taking out G-Monkey as Sly dropping, I don't think Sly dropped from the hatch, but did find those final 2 kills to give Spectral a 4-3 game in this second half. They're now just 1 round off of tying this up with Irradiate. Either way, this is another matchup that we're seeing the connoisseurs sweating here because, again, this was a map that was poised for Spectral to beat Irradiate. It was a 17-8 vote from with Spectral the win. Remember, if you are on the VRML website, you can hit the little star next to the team that you think is going to win. That will be you're casting your vote, and of course, we do track the rankings of who are the top connoisseurs. So we'll see how many people predicted this right and how many people will go down a little bit in that overall score. I always like to see when the connoisseurs are wrong. I don't know. It's just the evil side of Gibular Bob. I get great joy from watching people's connoisseur scores go down from them being wrong. I like my upsets. I think it's revenge because I eat my words all the time on the cast. I call out things that turn out to not happen. But yeah, I think that's where I get my joy from watching the connoisseurs also make the wrong calls. But here we go, 2.5 minutes on the clock as Spectral moving into the helm. They've got very quick setups here, getting the breaching foam on that first communications wall. They're going to go for the 2-prong breach. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock. And here comes the breach. It's Dusty sitting in the back of communications at the moment. Extras taking out G-Monkey. Now 2 minutes on the clock. Sly hanging around in the back of Helm along with Safe Sum. And Flare and Stain over in Coffee. A lot of fire exchanged between these two teams, but not too many kills. However, Beagle taking out Flare. Where is Beagle? Oh, Beagle's all the way up on the computer there. Oh, look at that. That's a very, very interesting angle. Extra is finding Sly as Stain will take out Parrot. And look at this, another Vezem round. It's looking better for Irradiate. It's now just down to Stain, who picks up a lot of Spectral damage and will go down to Dusty. As once again, we see Irradiate finding that success with those Spectrals against the Vezens. They've done this quite a few times to Spectral now. And it's got to be frustrating because they're losing a lot of money and giving it to Irradiate completely for free. What's going on, SEAL team? How's it going? Shout out to people in the chat. Paladin, once again, Dragonman, Luna, Brabadabado, Zen, Butterman. Good to see everybody here in the chat. If you're just joining us right now, map number 1 went to Irradiate 7-4. Map number 2 is in the process of an Irradiate win. Of course, they can still turn it around over here on Spectral. But we'll see if that can happen. They're going to have to put in a lot of work. Remember, if Irradiate wins this round, it will be a guaranteed draw for Irradiate. If they win another one after that, it'll be the whole map and the whole series in favor of Irradiate. G-Monkey taking out Beagle. Good start as Flare takes out Uncle Ron, and Spectral are not going to go down quietly. Parrot taking out Flare as Dusty finds the kill onto G-Monkey. Stain taking out Dusty as it's now down to a 3 versus 2. Extrius and Parrot looking to pick up those remaining picks as Safe Sum finds Extrius. Parrot takes out Safe Sum but will be refragged by Stain, and it's now a 5-4 game, and Spectral finally able to break through that great Irradiate defense. They had a beautiful blitz on that site. Able to push in, find the picks that they needed. I'm loving the aggression that we're seeing here from Spectral. They don't drone out sites, which concerns me ever so slightly, but I mean, if to a certain point, if you're able to move fast enough and throw your opponents off guard, then you really don't need that drone. Nevertheless, it's always a risk when you don't go for intel, because if your opponent is ready for you, if they're anticipating where your push is going to come from, well, you can be in a bit of trouble with that. But we'll see how it goes. Vezins across the board from Spectral as they Irradiate once again on that eco round. They did pick up a Viper, which is in the hands of Beagle. We'll see if they can put it to use once again, and once again take out a Vezin round from Spectral. This would be like the 3rd or 4th time they've done it this evening here in this matchup between these two teams. 2 minutes 40 on the clock right now as Beagle hanging over in Infirmary. G-Monkey taking out Dusty. They lose a roamer very early on Irradiate. That's going to hurt their chances of recovering a Vezin. Uncle Ron is over in Navigation and actually finds the kill onto Sly, but Flare looking for the refrag, tossing a frag over to Navigation, finding Uncle Ron as Stain takes out Beagle, and it's now a 2 versus 4. Doesn't look like this is going to happen from Irradiate, and it looks like it might turn out into a tie as Stain takes out Astrius, and Parrot goes down to Safe Sum, and it's a tied game. We could potentially see a 3rd map. It's all going to come down to who wins this next round. Whoever wins this will secure the all-coveted the guaranteed draw. And if Irradiate loses, they're going to be on a Force Eco. So they saved their money previous round. Eco'd. Didn't invest too heavily. But this is the round that they were planning for this round. They were looking at the end game. And Spectral also looking at the end game. If they do lose this round, I mean, they won't be as worse off as Irradiate if they lose this. This is my first time catching a stream. Oh, awesome, awesome. Well, welcome to the VRML SEAL team. Good to have you here. Hope you're enjoying this matchup as much as I am, because this is a very, very close second map. We had a pretty close first map that ended in that anomaly round of Irradiate taking out Spectral, even with an eco. And here we go. Parrot getting taken out by G-Monkey very, very early. Once again, not the kind of setup that Irradiate wants to have moving into the rest of this round. Stain moving up into the smoke as Dusty sitting in the back of the long hallway, firing some shots towards the end of it, picking up some damage instead, getting a bit of damage onto Stain as it looks like we might have a 2-prong once again. Yes, it will be a 2-prong through communication. Stain will go down to Uncle Ron, and here comes the rest of the push through into Site A as Flare looks to take out Beagle and will find that. Gets refragged by Flare. Extras will refrag Flare. Gets refragged by Sly as Safe Sum. Takes out Uncle Ron. And it's now just down to Dusty, who's got a 1v3 this. Dusty over in Site A at the moment. But this is going to be very difficult for Dusty. Doesn't have any kind of support item. Looks to take the shot at G-Monkey, but decides not to. That EMP is ticking down, however. So Dusty is going to have to make a move. He's going to have to start killing all three of them right now, but Sly with a flick onto Dusty to give Spectral match point of map number 2, and that means we're gonna go and see a third map here. Heartbreaking for Irradiate, who played pretty well on this map, but here we see the incredible potential of Spectral as a team. They played very, very smart. They were able to find the gaps that they needed, take out Parrot very early into the round. Irradiate lost a couple core players very, very early there, and it hurt their overall defense a lot. Ultimately, they didn't have enough people present to defend against that Spectral push. So we'll see if they can tie this map up. They can still push for a tie over on Irradiate. That's the best they can do right now, though. Spectral can go for a win. But if it does end up in a tie from Irradiate, then the pressure would be on for Spectral to tie up the whole game on map number 3. But for now, it could go either way. We'll see what happens between these two teams. Dusty currently up in storage as the rest of Spectral all the way over in Lounge. It looks like they are going to blitz the kitchen. If they can get the EMP planted in there very early, that could do wonders for them. Drastically increase their chances of winning this map, opening up the round with a kill onto Parrot. Once again, giving Spectral a key pick at the beginning of this round. Sly dropping 2. Excellent double kill as we see the rest of the team pushing in. Uncle Ron almost finding G-Monkey, but will be taken out by Sly, who's just on a rampage, and it's now just down to Dusty as Stain takes out Dusty, and map number 2 will go to Spectral, and what was a very, very fun turnaround by this team. They're hitting the Macarena. They get the last laugh on Irradiate here in map number 2. Oh man, it was back and forth until the very last play here in this series matchup between Irradiate and Spectral, and we're gonna see a third map. This is exciting. I wanted to see a third map, and I would have been very upset if it ended on map 2 because these teams are playing very evenly. They know how each other work. They've got good strategies, good setups, and it's coming down to a battle of who can execute their plays and win their gunfights. And it is so fun to watch. So shout out to both of these teams. Of course, shout out to everybody watching the stream once again. Oh man, where will we go for a third map? If I was, okay, we'll see. I think the losing team gets to pick the third map. So if I'm Irradiate, where do I want to go here? Maybe take it to Arctic. I think Spectral probably picked Ship as a means to throw off Irradiate. So we'll see if Irradiate picks Arctic to throw off Spectral. We'll see how this all turns out here. One thing's for sure, it's not going to be a matchup to miss, but once we're done with this game, don't worry, we'll have another game live here on the channel. It is going to be Restart versus Aspect, and map number 3 is going to be Arctic. I called it. I think Irradiate is going to try and reverse what Spectral did to them, put them in an unfamiliar map for the competitive side, Arctic, the newest map released, and that while there has been time to practice and play it, It's not one that you've seen in competitive here in the VRML until Season 2. So teams are starting to use it, see how viable it is on which side, and we'll see how Irradiates are going to use this map, how Spectral are going to use this map, because they're starting off on the offense. Irradiate will take defense. Let me give them the go ahead. Okay. It's going to be a 10-minute timeout in the hands of a 10-minute timeout coming from Spectral. So we will be back here in just a few minutes, so don't go away. Now, let me check before I head out here. Is the second game live on the channel right now? It is still live. Suspicious Breakfast versus OL. That's being casted by my fellow caster, Martini. So make sure you go and check that one out, because they're also on a very dramatic second map. So we'll see how all of that plays out. And then remember, coming up 9:30, Aspect versus Restart, which will be casted by Nightfire. So we've got a pretty active night over here at the Breachers VRML. We'll have a very active Sunday as well. So while we wait for that, we'll take a quick break here. I'll catch you all in about 10 minutes. I'll probably put the timer around 7 or 8 minutes. So that way we can come back and chat a little bit before that. But take 5 and don't go away. So we'll be back with more action. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids, that's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids, that's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
We are back over here at the Breachers VRML Eradiate versus Spectral. The teams are starting to reconnect as we have just a couple minutes left on the timeouts before these teams must get into map number 3, which is going to be Arctic. Again, reminder that currently live also on this channel is OL versus Suspicious Breakfast. That's hosted by Martini. And coming up in just 9 minutes from now is Aspect versus Restart, which is hosted by Nightfire. So once you finish up this game, hey, go over there and find some more non-stop Breachers VRML action. And it's so fun. We've had a lot of really great matchups today during the course of this week, and then tomorrow we've also got some casted games. So yeah, it should be, we're in for a fun weekend here at the Breachers VRML. And I'm excited to see where map number 3 is going to take us. Now, the only team that has data for map number 3 here is Eradiate. They've got 17 rounds played on Arctic, and they've won 41% of those. The team they lost to, by the way, was Olympus. Their first team they beat was Suspicious Breakfast. The team they lost to was Olympus. So that's where we're going to see a lot of those rounds lost, because they didn't get too many rounds against Olympus. But these are pretty even matchups between these two teams. Spectral first faced off against Tiny Tank, where they did beat them. That was also a close game. And here we go. Irradiate reconnecting to the lobby, along with the other members of Spectral. And here we go. Shout out again to the people in the chat. Luke, SEAL Team. Oh, Kat is here. Hey, Kat, how's it going? My boss over at eTournaments. And here we go. Okay, yeah, so just waiting on those other Spectral players to reconnect, and then we'll get into map number 3. And here we go. We're getting some more reconnects right now, and we are getting ready to start up here in what will be the third and final matchup of this series. So Right now, we've got Irradiate, won map number 1. Spectral, won map number 2. So map number 3 is up for grabs. If it ends in a tie, it will result in an overall tie. We do not have tiebreakers in the regular season, so it's going to be up to these teams to break that and find some success here and hopefully pull out a map, and walk away as a winner. Overall, that's what I like to see. I don't like to see ties, but they do happen in the Breachers VRML, and the ties that I like to see are the 666s, where it ends up as a 18 versus 18. Every map ends up as a 6-6. I call those 666s tie, or a true tie, if you've heard that before. And here we go. I just gave the teams the signal to start up this third and final map in the matchup. We are heading over to Arctic. Here we are in the final map of the night. We're over on Arctic. One team is going to walk away as the winner here. Hopefully we don't have a tie. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. It's been an entertaining match the entire time we've been here. Since map 1, map 2 was even more fun, and hopefully map 3 will be the most fun out of all of these battles we've had tonight. So welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, once again, map 1 went to Irradiate, map 2 went into Spectral. Here we go with Spectrals across the board from Spectral. I expect nothing less from this team. 4 Spectrals and a Cyclone from Irradiate, however, as it looks like the starting push from Spectral, who are taking the offense, is going to be on the blue boxes room. It's Uncle Ron over in the hallway right now, the lockers hallway. Interesting. This is a very delayed push. It's unlike Spectral, who, I mean, we've come to expect those fast pushes from them. So this is odd. It's making me uncomfortable not seeing them go as fast as they usually do. But here's G-Monkey and Poopstain. We're about to walk right into the Spectral Beagle, but G-Monkey defends against that and is able to find a good starting pick for this Spectral team. Now 2 minutes 10 on the clock, and it was smart to send a pair of 2 players upstairs to look for those roamers. Now, Uncle Ron over in the lockers hallway. G-Monkey dropping down that hatch. 2 minutes on the clock as ZK swapping in for Irradiate takes out G-Monkey. Will be refragged by Stain. Dusty in the back of tubes right now. As we see a minute 40 on the clock. Round number 1 here of Arctic. Map number 3. Uncle Ron with a good flanking position on Spectral right now. Dusty swings out. Finds the kill onto Stain as Flare takes out Uncle Ron, shutting down the opportunity of a roamer. But Flare is very, very low. There's a minute 15 on the clock, and Spectral are running out of time. And S-tier frag, but it only picks up a bit of damage onto Dusty. They sometimes have some strange collision physics, those frag grenades. Dusty still looking for some picks and finds one onto Save Some. It's just being a massive pain for this Spectral offense. Looking for another one and finds Slide. Dusty is on fire. Oh my goodness, Dusty completely bringing it back and finds the picks that they need to give Irradiate round number 1 in what looked like at first a very, very good round for Spectral. So, here we go. Dusty picking up a Vezin, purchasing that round 2 Vezin. Looking to keep the rifles alive. I've seen an Omen tossed around. It looks like maybe one player bought the Omen and then... Oh no, it's 2 Omens. Oh, go with the round 2 Vezin, please. Please don't double eco. or half buy. This is something that Spectral was doing towards the early the early map 1. It wasn't working for them. Oh no. They purchased a third omen. Why do they have another omen? Okay, they're going for the omen trio. Which, I mean, okay, so this may work. I think they purchased each other's attachments so that they could have enough money to go for rifles in the next round as well, but it still makes me nervous to absolutely no end. I think you're better off just purchasing that round 2 Vezin, but I could be wrong. We will see what happens. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock as Beagle over in research right now. G-Monkey saves some upstairs, checking out Jim. Once again, looking for any kind of Irradiate roamer. Flare downstairs as Beagle takes out Stain. Looking for a second one and will take out Flare. Very nice double kill from Beagle. Looks for the triple, but Sly ultimately finds that kill. G-Monkey taking out Parrot as Dusty finds G-Monkey. Dusty taking out a second, dropping another very good kill for Irradiate, and it's just down to Sly, who takes out one, but will be refragged by Uncle Ron to give Irradiate their second round. The Omen tactic worked, and it worked very well because the other team was still on an eco here, so yeah, it definitely was a better strategy, and of course I was wrong. How can a tie happen? So currently, how a tie would happen. In a matchup, there are 12 total rounds, which means that it can end, there's a possibility it can end as a 6-6, which would mean the map ends in a tie. And games are based off of maps, so GT has that correct in the chat there. So, because both teams won a map, if the third map ends in a tie, then nobody would be the overall winner because we are on a best of 3, and rounds are not calculated in the regular season. Once we get into the off season, which is 11 weeks away still, then we'll start to see those tiebreaker rules taking effect. But for now, for the long regular season that we have, we will not have any kind of tiebreaker. So that's how it could possibly end as a tie. But there's no telling if it will even happen. ZK taking out G-Monkey in what is an interesting choke point setup here by Irradiate. Save some abandoning that angle along with the rest of Spectral. Just going to decide to dip out of that. And that's a good plan because they were really caught in that back room. Now, a tie is still possible, Brab. It can still happen. We do not have tiebreakers in the regular season, so it won't go based off of rounds. Both teams have already won a map. Now, here we go into round number 3. Both teams have lost a player, but Dusty, Uncle Ron, wow, they all have Vezins over on Irradiate. And this is a Spectral round from Spectral. Here we go as SafeSum making entry. It looks like they're swapping the push over to Bathroom over on Spectral. Good adaptability from this team. Beagle in, once again, a really confusing spot that probably teams would not be expecting to look in. However, Flare does find a kill onto ZK. Beagle looking to move over, finds the kill onto Flare as Dusty takes out Sly, but staying with a very good tuck. May catch Beagle off guard. SafeSum taking that kill first as Uncle Ron finds SafeSum. Here's a refrag, and it's now a 2 versus 1. It's just down to Stain. Oh, yeah, Uncle Ron is down on 1 health. Dusty on 23. It really won't take much for Stain to win. Stain finds one, looking for a second, but Dusty gives their position away. There's now 45 seconds left on the clock. Stain is going to have to make a move here. Either pursue the kill on Dusty or try and plant the EMP. Dusty realizes they don't have to play too aggressively here. 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, I think... Oh, no, Dusty has no idea where Stain is going to be. Remember, Dusty doesn't really have a reason to push this. Stain is going to have to push this. And will decide to push it, but Dusty was waiting and found the kill onto Stain. Very, very nice win from Irradiate as they pick up a hat trick over here on the final map. Okay, yeah, I explained we're seeing some confusion in the chat about the tie. Hopefully my explanation of that got things for us, got things on the right track for us. But yeah, no. Once again, no ties in the regular, or excuse me, ties are allowed in the regular season. No ties in the postseason. Brab, you're just spreading misinformation. Whoever has the most depths. Ah, maybe that would be an interesting tiebreaker tog. Kind of total up the deaths at the end of it. Here we go into round number 4. G-Monkey hanging outside by the boxes of Sly, moving that drone into the red hallway. ZK just waiting. Ooh, does take out that drone, denying the extra information. As Stain already in the server room. Beagle just holding server corner. Is getting spotted by that drone as Stain looking to move back over and potentially try that angle. That's an early pick for Irradiate to give up. Two minutes 20. Now on the clock is Dusty looking to jiggle peek that A-bomb. Trying to find Stain, who's causing a lot of problems for this Irradiate defense. And you can see both players just blind firing each other at this point. Parrot finding Flare. Good roaming kill from Parrot as the rest of Spectral just hanging around outside of the Arctic base. Uncle Ron finally taking out Stain, who was, again, creating a lot of problems for that Irradiate defense. But now it's a 3v4. There is possession of the EMP over on Spectral. G-Monkey does have it. Minute 30 left on the clock. There's G-Monkey and Sly moving into display right now. G-Monkey attacking the server corner. They do have breaching foam, and here it is. It's going to be an attack on the server corner by Spectral as Uncle Ron will take out Safe Sum. Beagle looking to move in. Oh my goodness, Parrot. That was almost a very devastating frag for them. Oh, we almost saw a TK with the frag as Parrot looking for the kill on the elusive G-Monkey, who is playing the server corner. And this is a really tough spot for G-Monkey. Parrot ultimately finding that kill. Oh. Okay. I appear to have lost connection to the game. Let me load that up real quick. Interesting. I've never had that happen before. Apologies for that. It's a good thing we ended on a round win there. So the only thing we should be missing is this setup. Although, uh-oh. I think the whole server died. Let me message the captain of Eradiate Dusty, see what I can hear on the player front. That is interesting. Not quite sure what happened. Apologies for the technical difficulties. I think so. Ooh. Okay. So where are we gonna go here from this? Apologies for the technical difficulties. Yeah, the whole server that the teams were playing on just died. So let me see. Okay, they're making a new one. Let me see if I can get a hold of a moderator. I may just cut us over to ads for just a moment to figure this all out. I don't think anybody wants to see me typing, but we will be right back over here at the Breachers VRML. Don't go anywhere. We're going to figure this out. We're going to come back and get everything going.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, fast forward, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, fast forward, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, fast forward, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Okay, we are back over here at the Breachers VRML. Apologies for the wait. So this is going to be the very sad part of what happened here in this matchup. Let me do, yeah, I think we're going to have to do this to get map number 3. We're going to have to reset the scores. So what happened is the server crashed for everybody. I don't know why. Just randomly shut down, kicked everybody out. And unfortunately for Eradiate, because they were not in the second half, because of the way the eco works, and how it's so specific on how you perform in a round, that means we're gonna have to start all over on the third and final map. It's very frustrating, but this is kind of what we have to do here. Because of how the way it works, and we have to make sure it's still fair for Spectral. So it can't be like they throw 4 rounds. We're going to have to start all the way over here once again. But apologies for the technical difficulties. But we are back, and we are ready to see who walks away as the winner of this matchup, with G-Monkey and the rest of Spectral moving in on Arctic. Dusty tossing a frag, finds 1, finds 2, looking for a third as Stain looking to try and secure a refrag, but here comes the push from the other side of the hallway. Safe Sun taking out Dusty, and a string of kills leave Irradiate as the winner of round 1. Starting off in a very similar fashion to how it was going before. Welcome, Samson. Welcome, everybody. Again, apologies for that small break. I think a lot of our viewers have gone over to the other game right now, which is happening, which is Aspect versus Restart, casted by Nightfire and possibly Martini. So, if you're interested, feel free to go over and check that out once we're done with this game. This has been a close game. If you're just joining us once again, don't let the scores fool you. I had to do this so that we could have an even map 3. But first map did go to Eradiate, 7-4. Second map went to Spectral, 7-5. We're in the process of the third map, which is currently in favor of Irradiate. Here comes Spectral up at the roof right now on the hatch, getting ready to head into Lounge. Breach from the team, and here they go as ZK rotating back into the kitchen. G-Monkey slice, safe some. Spectral moving up into the kitchen right now, where Parrot looking to catch them off guard. Tossing a frag. Oh, over into the hallway. X-tier frag from Parrot will take out Safe Summons Flare, finding Parrot's refrag. ZK looking to push up and possibly find a kill onto Stain, tucking back behind the refrigerator as Dusty looking to reinforce ZK, who is still in that kitchen. Uncle Ron taking out G-Monkey on the flank as Sly looking to hold that defensive angle. Uncle Ron taking out Flair, looking to swing, but Stain will find the refrag. It's now a 2-minute, 10-second round, with ZK still tucking behind that refrigerator, looking to swing out. Ooh, I don't know if Stain saw ZK or not, but Dusty still in the back of... Oh, Cafeteria's Beagle on the flank, taking out Sly. And it's now just down to Stain, the last member of Spectral standing, and Beagle will find the kill to give Irradiate their second round in a row against Spectral. And what a start it's been to this map. Second time around, but it's still shaping out to look like exactly how it was before the server crashed, with Irradiate 4-0 ahead of Spectral. Now, it still has potential to change, but hopefully for consistency's sake, it does end up as a 4-0, because that's what it was before. But we shall definitely see. Again, if you're just joining us, coming back here after we fix the technical difficulties, the maps are going to be reset at the top, but it's only this map that was reset. Unfortunately, I can't reset a specific map's scores, but we had to restart this map over. The other two maps still count. That's the ultimate point that I'm trying to reach here, as we see Spectral once again stacking up outside of blue boxes. G-Monkey foaming the wall as Uncle Ron once again holding that same angle. Safe some, finds the kill onto ZK as Uncle Ron on the flank will take out Sly, but it's still a 3-4 game with Spectral in the player's advantage lead. Parrot taking up Flair, even it out to a 3v3, and Beagle finds G-Monkey, who was running away. Here's a frag from Dusty, almost taking out Sly, or Safe Some, either one. 2 minutes 20 on the clock, as Parrot takes out Safe Some. It's now just down to Sly, and Parrot dropping another kill to give us a 3-0 game. Now just one more, and it'll be all good, just as we left it, with Irradiate having a 4-0 lead over Spectral. Vezins all around from Irradiate, as unfortunately for Spectral, they cannot afford to buy another set of Vezins. And here we go. 3 Spectrals, 2 Jespers from Spectral. And of course, again, those Vezins and Util coming out from Irradiate as the site's top floor. We'll see how Spectral decides to approach this. They've tried the kitchen. That didn't work too well for them. But we shall see what happens. Stain over on the stairs right now as Spectral looking to enter in very far away. They might take the stairs. They're looking to follow with the rest of the team. Oh, this would be a very, very odd play for Spectral, a team that normally plays very fast and chaotically and takes advantage of the chaos to find their win. This time, playing the stealth game, heading in 2 floors away from the site. Flair doing a traversal Macarena. Macarena mid-stealth run. That's the team playing follow the leader. Oh, except for Sly. Irradiate playing pretty spread out on the top floor there. As they're moving up the red stairs, looking to head up through white. Yeah, this is something I wonder if they're going to start moving very fast once they reach the top of the stairs here. But this is a good way to throw off the pace of Irradiate. They were expecting that typical Spectral rush that they've done all night, but this time they changed it up. Oh, no. Oh, no. With one proximity alarm, the whole plan is blown sky high as they're on the move. Uncle Ron taking out Sly as Dusty picking up a kill onto Flare. Stain and G-Monkey moving into bathroom as ZK takes out G-Monkey, looking for a second on Stain. And Uncle Ron finds that kill as Safe Sum is taken out by Dusty. And Irradiates have once again put us back to where we started with a 4-0 lead over Spectral. So this feels satisfying. They got back to where they were before. And so all is right in the world of VRML breachers. And hopefully we don't have the server crash again. That was so weird. I've never seen that happen before. Usually it's, I thought I just got disconnected there, but no, everybody got kicked out of that server. Let me give the scoreboard here. Spectral enjoying those Vezins and the extra util that they get. They got a nice boost in economy from their 4-0 game right now. Irradiate still have plenty of money. Even if they lose this round, they'll be able to buy Vezins once again. But they are putting in a lot of work against this Spectral offense. We'll see once the teams get into the second half how everything will play out. Here comes a drone from Sly as we see an incendiary. Wants to just keep Spectral. I think they were anticipating a push. So they toss the incendiary to try and catch them. We see G-Monkey over on the stairs as Flare takes out Parrot. Early pick for them to give up, but Radiant responds with a pick of their own. Ooh, Dusty picks up a lot of damage. Flare will go down to Dusty, however, as Sly refrags Dusty. Stain takes out Uncle Ron. Beagle hiding in the smoke right now, as it's a 3 versus 2 game. ZK over on the other side of the map as Beagle, shoots at the wrong time. There goes the wall as Beagle looking for a possible kill. Oh, but just gets triple swung as Sly takes out both Beagle and ZK to give Spectral their first round here in this third map. Once again, if you're just joining us, I feel like we're getting some people back who were here with us before, who wanted to see the end. Maps are reset up at the top, but the first two still apply. Radiate won a map 7-4, Spectral won a map 7-5, and we are on the third and final map. So, yeah, we will see. We'll see who will win. We're going to get to the end of this match. And the team kind of speed ran it. So we got that 4-0 game, and now it's a 4-1 game with Spectral picking up their first round of the matchup here on map number 3. Lots of grenades, and that's okay because this is the halftime round. So once this round is over, the teams will swap sides, and we'll see Irradiate take the offense, Spectral take the defense. Flare foaming that lounge hatch. They've got the grenades. They're waiting to throw them all. They're going to have to move everything down that hatch. We'll see if they do that. As G-Monkey moving into lounge right now. ZK over in the kitchen. May find G-Monkey. Frag toss over to G-Monkey. I was concerned that was a live frag. But it wasn't. Oh my goodness! An S-tier frag from G-Monkey finds Uncle Ron. Spectral looking to capitalize off of this momentum as here's Beagle up on the flank. Takes out Sly. G-Monkey, ooh. ZK finding the kill onto Stain. Beagle finds another one on G-Monkey. Dusty looking to take out Flare. Beagle finding Flare. And it's now just down to Safe Sum, who's alone in lounge and is taken out by Dusty, and it's a 5-1 game heading into the second half. How's it going, Slash? Good to see you. Here we go. Only 2 rounds, and Irradiate will call this matchup a win. Beagle again. Beagle has been fantastic for Irradiate. Beagle and Dusty probably going to be my MVPs of this matchup tonight. Both of these players have put in so much work for their teams. Beagle has had some excellent flanks. Playing flanker is it is a tough job to have because you're alone and you need to move with the rest of your team. So that way, you can effectively use your roamer. And it's not something that a lot of teams can do right. And you see that in the top teams, how they work together together and they're able to make their flankers work for their team. But still, I'm liking what we're seeing from Irradiate here. We'll see if Spectral can bring it back on the second half. They're on defense now. We'll see if they can do something different with this stint. There's the breaching foam on the blue box room. Uncle Ron and Beagle waiting outside. And there goes the breach. So it looks like the rest of Irradiate clearing out any roamers upstairs. They may try this hatch in tubes. We'll see ultimately what they decide to do. 2 minutes 25 on the clock right now. It's Uncle Ron and Beagle in the back. Beagle looking for a kill. Flare has the frag primed. Beagle tossing a frag of their own. Doesn't quite go where they wanted to. Now 2 minutes 11 seconds on the clock. Oh, an S-tier frag. Oh, it's an S-tier frag from Flare. Safe Sung prepares a frag of their own. That doesn't find anyone, however. Uncle Ron looking to peek out. Very, very good frag from Flare. Gave them the pick that they needed. And this is going to make the push a lot more difficult for Irradiate. There's now 1 minute 45 on the clock. Uncle Ron does have possession of the EMP. Tosses the breaching foam over to Dusty. As the team looking to reorganize their push. They may try and keep Spectral busy over here in tubes. The team is spreading out. I think they're getting ready for some different kind of push. Yeah, Dusty. Looks like Dusty is going to go for that hatch. Dusty in Armory right now, foaming the hatch. He's about to drop in and will drop right on Flare. Very nice drop from Dusty, who looks for a second, but Stain will catch that refrag. Safe Sum taking out Parrot. As we see 1 minute on the clock, Uncle Ron finds Safe Sum. A slide takes out Uncle Ron. ZK taking a slide, but will be caught by Stain as Spectral pick up their second round here on the defense. They're bringing it back here now in the second half. They're not out of this yet, and they want to make sure Irradiate knows that. And now it is a 5-2 game, so that means Spectral, if they want to win this, they are going to need to play 5 rounds in a row and win all 5 rounds. If they want to win, they have to play perfectly. No mistakes, because if they lose even 1 round, they're guaranteeing a draw for Irradiate. And then Irradiate can possibly push for a victory here and upset this Spectral versus Irradiate matchup. Remember, the votes said that Spectral was likely to beat Irradiate. I think it was like 17-8 or something along those lines. A crazy game. I absolutely agree. This has been a lot of fun. And even though we did have to reset this third and final map, it still had a relatively similar turnout to how it was going in the previous game. Dusty heading into Lounge as Irradiate playing. They do play farther away from the side. They have a farther entry than Spectral usually did. But here come Dusty and Parrot down the white stairs there. Again, very efficient at clearing those roamers. There's now 2.5 minutes on the clock as Flare getting that trip mine placed in the red hallway. Parrot and Uncle Ron moving over to reception as Uncle Ron has the breaching foam down on site B. G-Monkey tucking behind that cart as we see, oh, look at this Parrot right outside the door. I think has noticed the trip mine. Eagle looking around the corner. Hopefully for Irradiate, they won't have somebody walk into that trip mine. I think they know it's there. G-Monkey dropping 2 kills. Looking for a third, but will be shut down by Uncle Ron. And here comes a push from Irradiate as Safe Sum and Sly. It's a 2 versus 2. Going to take out Parrot and Uncle Ron. The EMP's been dropped. It's now just down to Uncle Ron. Sly takes out Parrot as Uncle Ron finds the kill onto Sly. And it's a 1 versus 1. Both these players both very, very low on health. Uncle Ron looking for Safe Sum, but Safe Sum finds Uncle Ron to give Spectral their 3rd round here in their defensive half. And this is going to be good for them. They've got that Vezin, and now they're going to be able to buy at least another 2 rifles. Very good round for them overall. Irradiate picking up 5 Vezins of their own, but because they didn't get any wins here in the second half, they won't be able to get as much utility. And here we go into round number 9. It's been back and forth all night here between Irradiate and Spectral. Where is the entry going to be from Spectral? EMP has been taken by ZK. They've got a similar strategy compared to what they did at the start of the second half. This time, Flare up in weapons. Oh my goodness, what a devious proximity alarm. Very, very nice adaptation from Flare. Really remembered what happened in the previous round. Hopefully for Flare, though, they don't make too much noise because, I think Parrot heard that. Parrot definitely heard that and took out Flare there. Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, Irradiate made entry over by the red stairs, and Parrot heard Flare, swung out there and found that kill. An early pick for Spectral to give up to Irradiate. Safe Sum and Stain taking positions over in tubes right now. Frag is primed by Safe Sum. 2 minutes on the clock right now. It's G-Monkey, Stain, Safe Sum, all in tubes. G-Monkey finds the kill onto Beagle. Safe Sum priming a frag, tossing it. Oh my goodness, and S-tier frag takes out ZK, and it's now a 4 versus 3. Spectral are doing an excellent job of bringing this back on the defensive half of this map. We'll see. Can they secure these extra 3 kills on Irradiate? It's now down to Dusty, Parrot, and Uncle Ron. As Uncle Ron makes entry, will be taken out by Sly. Parrot finds G-Monkey. And it is now a 3 versus 1 as Safe Sum finds Parrot and Stain finds Dusty. And it's a 4-5 game with Spectral just 1 round off of tying it up. Ooh, a half buy coming out from Beagle and Uncle Ron. Both of them opting to purchase that Viper. They're going to need to shake up the strategy some way over here on Irradiate. They'll be able to buy some Vezins next round, but they want to see if they can mitigate their losses. Because, again, if Spectral wins this match, or this round, it will be a tied game. And then we're getting into the big end game here. I mean, if this gets to a 5-5, it's all going to come down to that next round to see who is going to walk away as the winner. Or potentially we could see a draw. Either way, we'll find out what happens. Take a look at the scoreboard next round, but here we go. Oh, a 3rd Viper in the hands of Irradiate. They're betting big on this round. I think they're going to try and secure a kill and then go for that Vezin. maybe the smarter play for Spectral to do is not give them 1v, however many players. Because you can already tell Irradiate, oh my goodness, Save Some finds Dusty with a trip mine. You can already tell Irradiate are going to try and group up on one player to steal their Vezin and then use that Vezin to build momentum in the rest of the round. A frag is tossed. The Save Some picks up a lot of damage. But Save Some's frag did not find any damage on their opponent. Save Some caught, finds one, will be refragged by Uncle Ron, but Stain is there to watch and take out any Irradiate players that try to pick up that Vezin. This is going to be a close game as Beagle just waving around that Vezin. They're looking for somebody, trying to get that Vezin. But it's going to be risky. Stain looking to swing out and finds the kill on a Beagle. Very, very nice flick there as we see a 2 versus 4. This is not going Irradiate's way at all. Minute 45 on the clock. EMP is in possession of Parrot at the moment. Uncle Ron heading over to Kitchen. I think looking to pick up that Vezin. If they can get a hold of that Vezin, maybe, just maybe, they can either salvage the Vezin and... yeah, salvage the Vezin. I thought there was a heal there. I was going to say in the heal, but no, it is just the Vezin. So you either salvage this or you go and try and do as much damage to the eco of Spectral as you possibly can. Maybe ensure that Flare can't buy a Vezin in the next round. They are going for it over on Irradiate, though. And this is going to heavily rely on Uncle Ron's ability to get the headshots that they need with this Vezin. Sly and Stain, both in the back of Site B. Here comes the breach from Jim. Somebody playing way in the back of Bathroom as Irradiate are losing a lot of time here. Parrot might try something, but they're weighing their options on Irradiate right now. What do they do? Frag is tossed. And Uncle Ron looking to move in G-Monkey on a really good angle to just take off the head of Uncle Ron. If they try that, yeah, G-Monkey's just in a really, really tough spot for Uncle Ron, who does find the kill onto Sly. Parrot takes out G-Monkey, but ultimately Stain will take out Parrot to tie up this game as we head into round number 11. Only 2 rounds left in this game, and this is probably going to be the biggest round of this map, because this round is going to decide who will have match points. Irradiate, for them, gaining this round in terms of talking economy is what they need, because they are low on cash. Spectral has money to burn. If you look at Stain, they've got $7,300 right now. So they can afford to lose their Vezin. They can afford to lose some util, but Irradiate cannot. If they lose this round, next round is probably going to be an eco or a half-buy round of some kind. Well, it would have to be a half-buy round. They would probably invest as much as they can. Either way, big for both teams. We'll see who walks away as the winner of this round, and maybe even the matchup. You never know. Here comes ZK with the foam onto the blue boxes room. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. It's Dusty, Uncle Ron, Parrot, all outside of reception. Stain waiting patiently in research as the drone goes the other way in what could be one of the most devastating plays for Irradiate if they do not drone out research. Oh, they did drone out research, and Stain is forced to head back downstairs. If they all went for the stairs over there, this game could have been over in just a split second. But Uncle Ron and Parrot moving over into research. Sly waiting at the bottom of those stairs as ZK, Dusty, and Extrius all out in the hallway. 2 minutes on the clock right now is G-Monkey with another very solid angle taking out Extrius. 2 minutes on the clock right now as ZK. Oh, Dusty picking up a kill on a Flare, but Flare tossing out a frag and catching Dusty. Parrot, however, finding safe some as Sly will secure that refrag. ZK, Uncle Ron, over in lockers. This is now a minute 40 on the clock. It's a 3 versus 2. G-Monkey right at the edge of that breach. That tuck may devastate Irradiate. It will as G-Monkey finds the kill on a ZK. G-Monkey dropping a double kill. And it is now a 6-5 game. Spectral has earned match point in this second half. And it's now all coming down to this. Unfortunately for Eradiate, as I was saying, they are only able to field 3 Vezins this round. They needed last round if they wanted to push for victory here. Spectral is in a good spot, however. They got the extra money. They can afford Vezins again. They can afford util. Anything that they want. They can buy the whole store and use it against Eradiate. And really, that's what they're going to need to do. They don't want to give any advantage to Eradiate. As we've seen multiple times, even on an eco round, they have been able to match up against Spectral. So they don't even want to give Irradiate an inch here. This could be the decider if Spectral will walk away as the winners of this match, or will Irradiate tie things up and make sure that nobody wins. Here comes the drone into lounge right now as we start off on the clock. Our final 3 minutes of this matchup. Drone moving into kitchen. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Uncle Ron, Parrot moving over to the lounge. Oh no, over to the kitchen. Interesting. The other Irradiate players. Okay, they're looking to wrap the map and potentially push in on... It looks like it might be an A push in a bathroom. We'll see what they try, though. They may try this wall over here at B as well. However, Stain, in the back of the hallway, may find a pick of their own. There is, yeah, there's the breaching foam on the wall. It looks like it's going to be that B push. There is a trip mine on that wall. So Irradiate will have to be careful here. A minute 50. They're using a lot of time getting set up. And Spectral knows how to play this. They know they just have to play back in their sight, stall for time. They don't need to get too aggressive. And the longer they can stall for time, the better off they'll be. As we can see with an incendiary tossed by SafeSum. That was smart. Sly taking out Dusty with a frag grenade as there's now just a minute 20 on the clock. ZK in the back of Jim right now as SafeSum still playing center of Site B in a really, really tough spot for Irradiate to deal with them. SafeSum gets the heal off as there's now a minute on the clock, but Extrace is going for the plant. G-Monkey looks to push out. SafeSum goes down, takes out ZK, but will be refragged by Extrace. A Slide takes out Extrace, and it's a 4 versus 2. It's just down to Uncle Ron and Parrot. The last hope that Irradiate has of winning this. Parrot finding Stain through the wall. Parrot dropping his second kill, looking for a third, but G-Monkey will take out Parrot. It's now just down to Uncle Ron. Oh, who goes down? Takes out Flare, and it just comes down to G-Monkey, who was on 4 health, but manages to defuse the EMP and give the win to Spectral with just 9 seconds left on the clock. And we will have a winner for tonight's matchup. It's Spectral. It's been up and down the entire night we've been here for both teams. Map 1 started off looking really promising for Irradiate. 7-4 over Spectral. Map 2 got very close again, down to those final 2 rounds, but ultimately went 7-5 to Spectral, and here we are. Map number 3 went 7-5 to Spectral once again. It has been a very, very entertaining matchup. Apologies for the technical difficulties that we had here. I had my mic muted at some point, and of course we did have the big reset that we needed to do, but we made it through it, and the VRML will live on. So congratulations to both teams, but extra special congratulations to Spectral for bringing this win out against, Iradiate. For now, that's going to do it for us over here at the Breachers VRML. Once again, I'm Gibular Bob, your host, and currently still live is Restart versus Aspect, casted by Martini and Nightfire. So make sure you go and check this game out, that game out after this one. But that's going to do it. Once again, I'm Gibular Bob. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. for IVI versus Ragnarok. Fun EU match for you. Make sure you don't miss it. Later, everybody.
Breachers VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.